Good morning. Welcome po sa press briefing ni Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella. Good morning, sir.
Morning. Morning, guys.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to touch on a few talking points this morning. I'd like to begin with the press statement of Secretary Jesuresa, OPAPP, regarding his visit to Malaysia. He expressed that the Prime Minister of Malaysia was confident of peace in Mindanao through pre-RRD, and that he also made promises that it was possible that Malaysia would make contributions to help peace and development efforts, especially in Mindanao. They also touched on regional cooperation, especially regarding ICIS and extreme terrorist groups. And they were also supportive of PRRD's statement that he would deal decisively with ASG. On the other hand, while he would do so, it was also stated that the Philippine government would promote moderation to other, would use moderation in terms of exercising this pursuit. Okay. Also, it was discussed that it was also stated, floated, that Malaysia may be the first planned visit of PRRD in the region to Malaysia. All right. Next. The next point is that President Duterte met with Saturo Campo in Malacanang. The President's meeting with Saturo Campo and the NDF personalities was warm and cordial, and it set a positive-looking mode as government and the NDF are set to revive the peace negotiations in Oslo, Norway on August 20. And also tomorrow will be the launch of the PCOO project called 50 First Days. It'll be launched in Davao, and it's set to highlight what PRRD has accomplished over the past 50 days. Thank you.
Thank you. First question will come from Joseph Morong, GMA 7.
Sir, sundot na kami sa Marcos.
Okay.
How much is the government going to spend for the burial?
I don't have the details regarding the expenses.
But it is the government.
It will go through the various departments that will.
Yun po mga Marcos sa saan gagastos.
I don't know. I don't have the details regarding that.
Okay, sir, just to continue on the topic.
Right,
sir,
okay.
What does the President think of the Supreme Court petition? And will this, and the public outcry, will that maybe change his mind or nakaset na talaga?
Well, let's put it this way. If the President will abide by the decision of the court, as stated by Presidential Legal Counsel Sal Panelo.
Okay. Sir, if we don't, what is it bad if we don't bury him?
Come again?
Is it going to be bad if we don't bury Mr. Marcos at the Libingan?
Actually, those are general statements, and I don't have any opinions regarding that. But from where the President is coming from, he believes that the nation ought to move on. That is where he stands. Okay.
Okay, may follow-up question about Marcos burial. Ina Andolong, CNN Philippines.
Hi, sir. Sir, did the President consider having the former President buried in Batak, considering that during the time of former President Marcos, it was a condition set by the former President when he allowed the return of...
I don't know if he considered that. I'm sure he was pretty aware. I suppose he was aware of that, but that was belonging to a different administration. So let's take it from where he is at this stage.
Follow-up, Maricel Halili, TV5.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Yes,
Sir,
morning.
there was a resolution filed by Senator Risa Ontiveros before the Senate na parang against dun sa burial ni former President Marcos sa libingan ng mga bayani. What's your reaction about this? And would the President wait for the resolution?
Well, let's put it this way. If there are any motions and any cases have been filed, then let it proceed, and then the President will respond as he sees fit.
Okay, may follow-up question about Marcos? Other issue? Marcos, Laila, Salaveria.
Sir, while the Supreme Court case is pending against the burial, will the administration consider postponing?
Like I said, like the Chief Presidential Counsel said, legal counsel said, that the President would abide by the rulings.
But if the case hasn't been finished and the date has been set, tutuloy yung burial, sir?
Well, the process
absence
is
of a
apparently
TRO.
the process is ongoing, but nobody's rushing anything. It's just that people need to respond as appropriately as possible.
Sir, may date na pala.
Wala pong official date.
Okay, thank you, Laila. Other issue na? Or Marcos pa rin? Other issue? Okay, follow-up.
Sir, just to press on the Supreme Court ruling, Supreme Court petition. Suppose walang TRO na lumabas after the oral arguments next week, and there's a floating date of September 18. Will the burial push through?
Well, like I said, it seems that everything is starting to move according to arrangements. So, unless there's a TRO or anything like that, it'll proceed as planned.
Okay, other issue na? Ted Tuvera.
Sir, regarding po sa NDF, sir, ano po yung statement po muna or response ni President dun sa sinabi ni Jose Maria Sison kanina, sir, na he is parang nagbalik yung friendship nila, sir?
Ang alin?
Yung pagiging friendly nila sa isa't isa, sir.
Well, let me just quote from where negotiator Halandoni said. He said, in general, the relationship between the revolutionary movement and Duterte is excellent. Glitches like these, they consider it glitches or hiccups, like this can be fixed through peaceful dialogue. I suppose that's what's happening.
Sir, follow-up, relate ba rin po sa NDF?
Yes.
Sir, ano po yung expectations ng Palace knowing na may mga i-release na mga NDF detainees, kung sasama po ba sila, sir, sa Oslo, sir, yung mga
kailangan pumunta are being allowed to do so. Those who are needed as advisors and consultants are being given safe passage. Meron po sila tinatawag na JASIG yata. Okay.
Lahat po ba yun, sir, yung 22 na yun, sir?
I'm not sure about the exact number, but those who need to be there will be allowed to go.
Follow-up. Tina, and then Maricel about NDF. Tina muna. Tina Mendez.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. Yeah.
The question now is, will the government be spending for the travel expenses and accommodation of the NDF panel?
I'm not entirely sure about how they break it up, but they will be allowed safe passage.
I mean, on the expenses.
That's what I said. I'm not privy to the expenses, okay? But they will be allowed safe passage.
Okay, sir.
Maricel Halili.
Sir, can we just have a more detailed information about the issues that was discussed during their meeting last Monday?
It was more or less a closed meeting, so it was between them, I think.
But why is there a need for a meeting inside the palace?
I'm not entirely sure about that,
Follow-up question, NDF. Other issue? Other issue na tayo? Rose Novenario.
Sir, kasabay nung meeting ng NDF panel kay Presidente, o nauna o mas nahuli, kamiting din ni Presidente yung ibang representatives ng Lumad groups na allegedly ay nagsumbong tungkol sa harassment ng paramilitary groups and ilang security men ng isang influential religious group sa Davao City. Ano po yung instruction ni Presidente sa AFP or sa PNP regarding the issue?
Wala pong details na na-release patungkol sa meeting na iyon.
So yung, kasi po, July 25 po after the SONA, nakipag-usap din po siya doon sa mga lumad leaders.
Okay.
So from there, July 25 to nung August, nung Monday, parang hindi po yata nagbago yung sitwasyon nila. At nasa displaced pa rin sila, nasa UCCP pa rin sila po, compound sa Davao City.
I see. All right.
Oo.
Okay.
So wala pa pong...
Wala pa po, pero ang alam ko rin po some UCCB pastors also met with the president lately.
Okay. Thank you.
Questions? No more? Other issue? Oh, I think okay na tayo. Joseph Dexter
Other issue.
Ganibe,
Sir,
DCMM.
Yung 50 days tomorrow,
Yes,
tanghali, nandun ba ang Pangulo sa launching? Sabi niyo sa Davao po isasagawa.
It'll be launched in Davao. So it'll be, as far as I know, it's going to be launched at 12 noon at another Davao under the auspices of the university, and Father Joel Tabora will be there.
Si President will also be there.
He is supposed to be in Davao. I think he will be in Davao. He will be speaking to the summit.
Sir, this is a documentary or a audio-visual presentation?
It's an AV.
Gaano kahaba ito, sir?
About
Expect natin?
30-40 minutes.
Follow-up question about
30,
50 days, other issue. Ina, please wait. Yan, Ina.
The president will be there tomorrow in Davao?
He was slated to address. In other words, he's scheduled to address, I think.
Okay, Joseph Morong?
He may or may not be there,
May
but he's
follow-up
scheduled
pa
to
rin sa
address.
50.
Tomorrow.
So, no more questions. Joseph, Tina Mendez.
Sir, can you please expound on the proposed sea lanes ba yun, or the trilateral agreement between Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines as a result of the talks with the Prime Minister?
Basically, I think I cannot fully expound on it, but it's basically having to deal with keeping safe the porous points, keeping safe from terrorist groups, and making sure that there's secure sea passage in the area, in those borders in which they share.
So, follow-up, JP? Manila Standard?
Hi sir, good morning. So related po sa drugs, Sir, PNP Chief De La Rosa said na meron daw pong scientific evidence ang PNP, ang palasyo with regards dun sa spate ng extrajudicial killings, that it's not perpetrated by the police but instead of vigilantes. Can we know more about it, sir?
But basically, I think ang punot-dulo nun is that these are not entirely vigilante killings, but they may be internecine killings. Internecine meaning to say it's related to one another, especially those who seem to be directly connected with the drug trafficking.
Sir, meron ba tayong figures kung ilan yung involved dun sa interrelated killings, sir?
Numbers?
Numbers, sir. Or figures?
Right now, I think the numbers are rather fluid. Let's wait for them to come up with exact numbers.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes?
Ted Tuvera and then Benji about drugs and extra. Ted Tuvera, please.
Sir, dun pa rin po sa drugs. Kasi sinasabi po parati ni Attorney Panelo na yung mga nagpapatayan ay mga drug pushers po mismo. Sir, saan po nanggagaling yung information na to, sir?
They have intelligence reports.
Okay. Vance Fernandez. Microphone, please. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
is there any possibility that the Duterte administration will go after the illegal gambling like the wedding in Luzon and Macau in Visayas? And also we have this STL, now as we call it as wedding also. Now there are behind this some members and board members of the PCSO that are allegedly involved with the corruption. Will you look onto it?
Yeah, as I believe the president made mention regarding that matter already some time ago. He said, I think he actually said that after the drugs, he will go after these these other crimes.
But will you also look into it that there are allegedly there are Chinese involved in this STL?
Whoever is related to it, it will be looked into. whoever is connected to it.
Ibang topic.
Yes.
Okay.
Joseph Morong?
So yung second wave po nung
Second wave.
ng names ng mga
Yes.
narco politicians,
Yes.
kailan po natin inaasahan?
We're not entirely sure kung kailan ilalabas, pero he's bound to reveal it soon.
Follow-up, Ted?
Sir, yung CHR po noong weekend nagsabi po na bakit hindi po nagfa-file ng mga kaso laban sa mga narco politicians. Sir, kailan po magpa-file ng mga kaso laban sa kanila? At sino po yung naatasan na magpa-file ng mga kaso po laban sa kanila, sir?
It will all follow the process, no? Kung in other words, hindi naman walang hinihindian, walang ina-avoid. But it's just being queued.
Pero sir, apparently yung isa sa mga narco politicians, yung si Espinosa nga po ng Leyte. Ngayon, despite nung mga nahuli sa kanya, nakaupo na po siya ulit ngayon, sir.
Right. Ang ano po niyan, in charge niyan, DILG. So it will have to come from DILG. Okay. So wala pa naman kasi ang formal na kaso na na-file sa kanya from ano. So in other words, meron lang he was brought in for investigation by PNP. And then now that ang susunod po niya yung pagfa-file na nga ng mga kaso.
Pero sir, what's keeping the government from filing charges against them?
I think there's nothing keeping them. It's just they're following due process. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Benji Liwanag? Last question na si Benji. Meron pa bang abol?
Sir, on the meeting between... Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah.
Okay. On the meeting between the President and the Senators.
Yes.
Number one, will the President pursue the increase of the 12% VAT to 15% as recommended by the Finance Department? And number two, will the senior citizens be affected of the increase and exemptions?
There were talks about this, but nothing is final yet. Okay.
Nothing is final.
Nothing is final yet.
But
it will have to be discussed.
It is recommended by the President to some senators. It was the Finance Department who brokered for that meeting.
Right. That's why there needs to be a discussion, and then they'll have to work out the details of what they discussed. But nothing is final yet.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, last questions na. JP, follow-up.
Yes.
Sir, what was the rationale behind the lifting of the 30 exemption, sir, with the VAT? Why is it that we need to lift the 30 exemptions?
The what? The exemptions. Yeah.
Yung exemptions, sir, sa VAT.
This is not policy. What I'm going to say is not policy, but apparently it's to balance off. If you're going to be reducing here and taking away here and giving, it's a question of household. It's household accounting, quote unquote.
Sir, meron na bang kailan po i-release ng Budget Department or the Palace yung parang tax reform package niya to Congress?
I think they have it on queue already. No exact dates.
Thank you. Vance Fernandez, last question, sir.
Yes, sir. Another question, sir. How would you justify the increase in the proposed budget of the Office of the President?
How would I justify?
Yes.
The
and
needs have
also-
increased.
Yes, there was
The needs have increased. So there's a...
So what are the necessitate in the increase of this Office of the President?
Well, check when the budget comes out, then basically the cost of running the government has increased. So that is basically, if you're asking for a justification, the needs have increased. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Another.
Yes.
So may follow-up lang si JP, pwede sa budget?
Yung sa OP budget, sir. Sir, meron na bang preparations na ginagawa yung Palace? Kasi ang sabi ni Secretary Jokno was the lump sum budget, sir, yung dagdag na how many billion is for the ASEAN Summit, sir. Meron na bang initial preparations that Palace is doing for next year?
Initial preparations for
ASEAN Summit, sir, next year.
Well, I'm sure the other line agencies, the other offices are already attending to that.
Okay, last question na daw talaga. Si Vance Fernandez or...
Go ahead.
Go ahead, sige. Maricel, go.
Sir, may we know what's the objective of President Duterte's visit to Malaysia?
It's part of part of it is really the traditional visit, of it's really part of the tradition. In fact, he'd rather stay here. He'd really rather stay here. But it's part of tradition that the new president visits all, because we're also preparing for our leadership when we take over the ASEAN. That's part of the preparation. After Laos, we're going to be taking over.
Pero what particular issues will be raised during his visit?
Those issues, these are up to them in that sense. These are part of it is the security which has been raised, the Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippine agreements regarding the porous borders, addressing terrorism, addressing economic possibilities. These are some of the talking points.
Sir, ano po yung exact date ng pagbisita ni Presidente sa Malaysia?
Wala po kaming exact dates for that, but the groundwork is being prepared.
Pero sir, definitely this will be before his ASEAN visit.
Before we take over, ASEAN, which is part in September, I think. September.
Follow-up daw, sir.
Sir, clarification lang. So, towards the end of August, we can see the president touring the neighboring ASEAN countries. Napapayag niya, diba?
Come again?
Napapayag na magtutur.
I'm not really sure about that, but this is part of the traditional before we take over leadership of ASEAN.
Okay, guys, last question.
Other countries, sir, aside from Malaysia?
Well, if things go as tradition goes, it should be the whole entire 7. It should be.
Evelyn Quiroz.
Ay,
Okay.
morning, sir. Sir, kasama po sa 2017 budget yung 4 na 500-bed rehabilitation centers?
All right. I don't know if I should go ahead, but already in the works are planned planned rehabilitation centers of large capacity centers. That's all I can say at this stage. Large capacity centers. Yes.
So may amount, sir, kung magkano yung
This is going to be a private-public partnership, so I cannot peg you down on particular amount.
Sir, under DOH po ba yung magpapatupad nito or DPWH?
That's under DILG po. DILG and DOH partnership.
Sir, pwede pang
Thank you.
last 2 questions?
Sige, last 2. Okay.
Last 2 questions, si Rose
Last 2
Novenario
questions.
and then Vance Fernandez.
Sir, yung donation po ng San Miguel na 1 billion para dun sa pagtatayo ng rehab center, part po ba iyon ng PPP agreement ng Duterte administration?
I'm not sure about
Private sector?
I'm not sure, but the donations are really dedicated to drug rehabilitation.
Pero natanggap na po ng palasyo.
Wala pong money exchange yan.
Ay, na natanggap na nila halimbawa yung pledge, yung cheque, o kung
I
ano
believe
man.
the offer, but there's no money exchange here po. Wala pong lilipat na pera.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Vance Fernandez, last question. Walang S yun, a question.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
my last question is, we know that the president is aiming for having this objective of fighting for corruption, crimes, and other matters. Now, will the president moves to expedite the process of removing some corrupt employees in the government?
Definitely, that's part of his. He like he said, if you're a government official, a government employee, and you engage in corruption, then you do not have a place in government. So definitely, actually, it's not his goal is not so much that. His goal is poverty reduction. He wants a peaceful nation. He wants a nation that abides by law and order. He wants people to have a comfortable life. And he really works for common good. I think that's one of the things we need to appreciate about the president. That basically his highest value is really working for the common good. That everyone, including those who are not usually included in economic gains, should now be part of receiving the benefits of the economic gains of others.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
You have been
Thank you,
You have been a
Vance.
wonderful,
Thank
and
you.
also congratulations to Happy birthday, Rocky.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella. Thank you, Malacanang Press Corps at sa new sets of officers.
Congratulations.
Okay, thank you. Back to our main studio sa Radyo ng Bayan at PTV4. Thank you.